they use that as an excuse to manipulate every market in the world 24/7. And so they've been doing that to gold legally and everything else since '88. And gold, since then, has gone from $250 an ounce to $1,200 an ounce. And had they not been suppressing it, gold would probably be selling around $7,600 an ounce right now, because that's what real inflation has been since that time. And the United States government, that's since 1980, the United States government, through their figures, contends that gold should be about $2,400 an ounce. And so the worst case is $2,400. But what's happened, particularly over the last 15 months, is that the dollar has in part decoupled from gold, and gold is now the dollar's major competitor, and they can't hold it down. I mean, you saw what happened today. Gold was up like $17.
Right.
And it's going higher and considerably higher. That is how you protect your wealth. If you have money in anything, get it out and put it into gold and silver bullion, coins, and shares. That is where you will retain your assets.
What advice would you give to anyone starting their own business? Would you say...
It's hard. It all depends on what kind of business. It's a difficult time. You have the problem of within the Eurozone, which is one interest rate for all. I said when it first happened, it would bring chaos, and it did. So you have the Republic of Ireland and Portugal, Spain, Italy, and Greece in serious trouble, probably all bankrupt. And then you get the UK, which includes Northern Ireland. They're bankrupt too. So what do? Do you start a business? Boy, it's an awful dicey affair. Unless it's selling bangers at the football game.
Right. Well, I was coming to that. I mean, there was a 7-year-old girl the other day, just to give you an idea. I'm not sure if you heard the story. Give you an idea how Big Brother is getting too PC, too politically correct and outrageous. She had a lemonade stand, and that's a business startup scheme, isn't it? In Portland, a 7-year-old girl had a nice little lemonade stand there, and the authorities came up and said, you need a license for that. It's £120 for the day. You're going to have to either pack up and leave or pay the fine. So, if you're 7 and you want to start a business, you've already hit a brick wall already. But there is good news on that. In Portland, the governor has apologised, and the 7-year-old is allowed to have a lemonade stand. And we know that some of the Amish that are selling melons on the side of the street, I mean, sooner or later, even if you start a small business that designed just to help your community, like a local store, there's so much red tape, and people aren't allowed to be independent. They want everyone to be dependent on the global state. Is that how you see it?
Absolutely. And what's happening to Europe is it's graduating from socialism to fascism. America already has corporate fascism, and they'll get it soon, and the rest of the world, and in different forms. And you don't get something for nothing. And, of course, when you have socialism of any kind, the third variety, of course, is communism, you can't run a government that way. It's absolute chaos. And you saw what happened to the Soviet Union and other communist countries. They eventually fall apart. And every fascist country does too. And so that's what they've got in front of them, because it's not going to work. The people will revolt. And if you have everybody in the world revolting, I mean, who's going to stop it? And, military is the people. I mean, they're not just a bunch of goons. I mean, even though they pledged allegiance to their president or their queen or whatever it is, they're not going to go out and shoot British or U.S. citizens. I'll tell you that right now. They're just not going to do it. So I think the Illuminists have a real problem. They think they're going to be able to run us by using the military, and it is not going to happen.
Well, if it's
in fact, that's what brings about coups.
Yeah. I mean, they talk about foreign troops being on U.S. soil, for example. Czech troops training. We have French and not Russian, Ukrainian troops practicing and training in Scotland, and Irish troops are being shifted abroad now. So, if you have an Indonesian military guy more prepared to shoot an American citizen or a veteran coming home, a disgruntled veteran, which is, of course, a terrorist now, that's why they're shifting the global army around.
Well, 20 minutes from now, I'm going to do a program I've been doing for 5 years. It's called the Marine Disquisition, and it's pointed toward, it's on Blog Talk Radio, and it's pointed towards active and retired American military personnel all over the world. And I've had several of them, commissioned and non-commissioned officers and others, tell me that if anybody tries to use foreign troops against American citizens, the American military will liquidate them. So
Excellent.
If Washington is listening and if London's listening, that's what your fate's going to be if you screw with us.
Well, they have their message. I think they understand that all too well. They're trying to, a lot of the cops in America are chipped already and shoved up to the eyeballs with steroids to make them more aggressive. So who knows what kind of technology they may introduce to get that job done. But yes, indeed, it's encouraging. You're able to gauge the feeling of the military from your connections with them. That is encouraging. Because we need these people on our sides. We need the cops on our sides. We need them to be our friends. They're the people too. And we need them on our side. It's not us and them. It's tyranny versus freedom.
Well, I think you're absolutely correct. And I tell people, in respect to the military, I said, look, anything happens, you go join them. And if the police do what they're supposed to do, well, you're their friend. And if they start acting like goons for the federal government and they do things they're not supposed to do, well, they're not going to be doing it much longer. In the situation in Europe and the UK, it's different. In America, there's 450 million weapons.
Yeah.
There's 150 million people who know how to use them. There's 80 million veterans, and half of them have been in combat. Now, do you really think that if the Americans get disturbed that they can't put down any army, and they may pay a terrible price, but they can do it? And there's no other nation left that has that sort of protection for the people. And if they try to take people's guns away, they're not going to get them. They're going to get revolution. Just like if they try to take their gold and silver away, there'll be revolution.
Yeah. Well, Elena Kagan has been sworn in as the 112th Justice of the Supreme Court. Elena Kagan. She blocked two of the investigations into Barry Soetoro, a.k.a. Barack Hussein Obama, his birth certificate, blocked two investigations into that. And she said on Saturday, the court will be more reflective of us as a people than ever before. She's not talking about the people. She's talking about us, them. We're going to be more reflective of us as a people than ever before. And she was Obama's Solicitor General.